So over the past year on the Humanist Report, I've been covering grassroots activism at town halls to where people like Lawrence Steiner, a huge Medicare for All progressive activist, will ask politicians whether or not they support single payer. And after watching a lot of different answers from corporate Democrats, I think I've seen a pattern emerge, and I think you all would probably agree with this. First of all, they always try to come up with an excuse as to why they won't support Medicare for All, and then they almost immediately pivot afterwards to defending the Affordable Care Act. Well, you know, we can't focus on single payer because we've got to defend the Affordable Care Act from Republican attacks, and if they're kind enough, then they'll say, I think we should move towards a public option. So after seeing their responses, you know, I think that it's safe to say that they don't support single payer. And I'm only talking about the people who obfuscate about their position on single payer, because when you talk to some neoliberals like Claire McCaskill and Dianne Feinstein, they just straight up say, no, I don't support single payer. So here's what I want to do. I want to take a look back at some of the corporate Democrats I've covered at town halls and show you their responses when asked about single payer. And after that video, we're going to juxtapose their answers with the answers of true progressives, and the difference is night and day. So first of all, these are the corporate Democrats and what they have to say when asked about single payer.
Would you support a single payer plan if it came to a vote? I'm going to disappoint a lot of you. This is kind of how I roll. A lot of you want me to say yes, and I would say if a single payer came up for a vote right now, I would not vote for it.
A lot of Americans still want to see changes to the healthcare system in America.
Of course.
Do you feel like the move for Democrats now is to make single payer a plank in the 2018 platform?
No, I don't.
Well, are you in favor of it or no?
We have this young boy, okay, this young child. I just was thinking of England right now, in London, UK. This one child, right? They're deciding now whether that child gets services or not. I don't think that would be a decision we'd make in America.
So you're not for Medicare for All? I'm just trying to understand.
I'm looking at it. I want to do whatever is best.
I am not here ignoring your suggestions. I could have simply said no to this. I could have simply said no to this and gone about my day and enjoyed my Saturday. But I know this is important, and that is why I'm here, and I am listening to you. But all I'm saying is, and I hope you understand, this is not that I oppose the bill. This is not that I oppose the effort that you're making. As a matter of fact, I'm grateful that you're making this effort. But right now, again, we're 1 or 2 votes away from getting the Affordable Care Act repealed in the Senate. You're not in the Senate.
Then we're going to look at broader things. Single payer is one of them.
So that is on the table?
Medicare. Well, sure, many things are on the table.
I've declined to become a co-sponsor of HR 6776, and I do so because I frankly don't think it's fully formed.
How are you going to help support single-payer health care?
Well, if single-payer health care is going to mean complete takeover by the government of all health care, I'm not there. If single-payer health care.
Yeah, so I mean, you haven't answered the question.
Yeah, so let me answer it this way. And let me answer it this way. And let me answer this, because I appreciate that. And I know many people think that their Medicare for All is the answer. But, and it may be. Let me just answer this. It may be, but here's the fight. Here's the fight. What do we do with all of those people that have health care now under the Affordable Care Act?
I haven't really thought out in my head exactly what we would offer and how we would do it, but they're going to lose control of the Senate and the House if they go forward with anything that resembles what happened in the House, and we'll have the opportunity to fix it.
So a common theme in all of their answers is that they just do this tap dance. They don't want to tell you that they don't support single payer, but really they don't support single payer, and they're trying to, you know, they're trying to ease the blow and, you know, make it seem as though, you know, their position isn't as bad as it really is. But look, here's the thing, and they want us to think, certainly, that they support single payer, but they at least want to tell us enough so that way they have plausible deniability, so when they inevitably vote against it, they can say, look, I never said unequivocally I support it, but I said, you know, maybe I think about it. But look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how progressives respond to single payer, at least the ones that I've interviewed on my channel, and certainly there's more. And this is going to be a much shorter clip because here is what they have to say about single payer. So there's a bill in Congress, HR 676, This would expand Medicare to everyone. Would you co-sponsor that if you were elected and support a single-payer healthcare system?
Yes, I probably would have sponsored it.
Absolutely.
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 Excellent,
Yes,
excellent.
Yes, my one-word answer is either take your pick, yes or absolutely.
So I know, definitely it's Medicare for all. I don't think I'll be able to get there quick enough to co-sponsor. I'll ask if I can fax it over maybe.
The difference is like night and day, because when you watch the neoliberal answers and then the progressive answers, it's pretty clear. You know exactly where they stand. They unequivocally support single payer. So most of them just straight up said absolutely. That was the first word that came out of their mouth. And it wasn't just absolutely. I mean, they were enthusiastic. And even some of their answers, Cory Bush said, I probably would have sponsored Medicare for all. We have Amy Vilela saying that she is so anxious to co-sponsor Medicare for all, she would like to fax in her signature. So, you know exactly where they stand. When you ask someone if they support Medicare for all, when you go to a town hall of a politician, that's the type of answer you should get. Absolutely. And if that's not the answer you get, if they try to do this tap dance and beat around the bush and say, well, I kind of support a public option first, then we know to dismiss them as someone who's not an ally to single payer. So this is why I can't help but be thankful for organizations like Justice Democrats and Brand New Congress, who are introducing us to these types of candidates. And also, we have to be thankful for organizations like Our Revolution for putting pressure on incumbent Democrats to support Medicare for all. So here's the takeaway from this and why I'm showing you this. When I see the differences in responses between neoliberals and progressives, I really feel optimistic because these are people that are running for Congress. So when you look at how much enthusiasm for single payer we see, at the candidate level, not to mention the grassroots level, but at the candidate level of people who have declared their candidacy for 2020, the future looks really bright. And I really feel optimistic about Medicare for all. And I wanted to share that optimism with you all because I know that in this day and age, there's almost no good news. Let's face it. There's basically, we're bombarded with bad news story after bad news story. But these are the people that they're really the future. So if you watch this and you feel optimistic, then you should feel optimistic.
Support this podcast by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Report.